What's up, Haas? Welcome to another video where I am going to be teaching you some really cool things that you can do with strings. The first thing is how to access individual characters from a string. So say that we had a user sign up for the site and their name was Tuna McFish, which was actually the name of my great uncle, Tuna McFish. And the first thing I want to mention is this. Whenever people count, like whenever you teach like a kid to count, they always start at 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. However, computers are different. Computers start counting at 0. So just keep that in mind because it's going to come into play right now. So in order to access an individual character from this name or from a string, type the variable's name, which is user, and in between square brackets, write the position of the character you want to get. So if you want to get the first character, you don't type 1, you actually type 0, since computers start counting at 0. So again, it outputs T, so this is 0, this is position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see, the 5 should be the M, and indeed it is. So pretty cool. Now another thing I want to mention is this. So computers start counting at 0 and then go from left to right. You can also go from right to left. Now if you ever want the last character, what you can do is press -1. Now it's not -0 like you might think because -0 is 0. So -1 is always the last character, which is in this case H. So you can also do that for not only the last one, but say you want to start at the end and put -1, -2, -3 is the I, so on and so forth. So that is how you access individual characters from a string, again the variable name and the position in square brackets. Now another thing that you can do is you can actually slice out a section of the name. So in order to do that, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. It's really easy if you just look at it. You write two numbers. The first one is where you want to start. So say we wanted to start at 0, 1, 2, which is the N, and the last one is where you want to stop. So we'll say, okay, this M is 5, so we'll stop at this F, which is 7. Now whenever we hit enter, it gives us this little section right here. And you see it didn't include that F because it stops right before it. It's pretty much saying, okay, when you get to this character, stop. So that's how you slice out some characters from a middle of a string. Now, I want to mention one more thing. Actually, two more things. So you use the little colon right here to say where you want to stop and where you want to start and stop. That's what I meant to say. Now, if you ever forget to include, or if you ever just don't include the beginning, then it automatically assumes that you want to start from the very beginning. So this pretty much means start at the beginning and go to the 7th position. And just like that, you can also forget that stopping point and it will go all the way to the end. So again, that just gets this right there. Now, if you do it with both of them, then of course it'll start at the beginning and stop at the end, which pretty much gives you what you started with, the whole entire thing. Pretty simple. And actually, since we have time, I'll show you guys one other cool function. You know how I said that whenever we write an actual program, we're going to be using these things called functions, and we learned one, how to print stuff out on the screen. Simple enough. Well, another thing I want to tell you is quite often you want to get the length of a string. So say we have this name right here, but we don't know how long it is, how many characters are in it. Well, the function that we can use for this is len. And what this does is in between its parentheses, you can type in any string, just type in some random characters, and hit enter, and it'll say how many characters are in that string. So if you ever want to know how many characters are in the word Diplodocus, it's 21. Now, of course, just like basic strings, you can use variables as well. So if we do this, it's pretty much going to say what is the length of Tuna McFish. Anyone want to take a guess before I hit enter? If you guessed 11, you were correct. And of course, this counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this blank space counts as a character as well, just something that you may want to remember. So that is it. And the only other thing I want to mention is if you ever have questions about my tutorials, if you ever have any code that's not working, or if you just want the source code for my tutorials, if you go to my website, buckysroom.org/forum, I'm going to put all the source code in the Python section. So click this. Again, here's the source code for my last tutorial, and you can just copy it and use it if you ever get confused. So again, if you have any questions, ask me there. Thank you guys for watching, and well, I'll see you later.